They called him worthless, powerless, a dropout who didn't belong at the Royal Arcane Academy. But everything changed the night he unlocked a forbidden skill. A skill the rulers swore should never exist, and the craziest part. It all began when the princess collapsed at his feet, whispering his name. At the Royal Arcane Academy, Iron Vale was a ghost. He was the boy with zero mana, the butt of every joke, whispered by the nobles, the student even the teachers refused to look at. During the magic crystal test, where every student reveals their innate power, his crystal remained cold and dark. No element, no attribute, absolutely no hope. The whispers followed him down every hall. He won't last a week. Someone should just tell him to quit already. But Iron couldn't quit. He refused. It wasn't because he had some unshakable belief in himself or a grand destiny. No, the reason was far more desperate. Miles away, in a small village, his younger sister was sick, her life fading with each passing day. The only cure was a rare elixir, a prize awarded to the Academy's top graduates. For her, he had to succeed. He had to endure the mockery, the isolation, and the constant humiliation. Failure wasn't an option when her life was on the line. The day everything changed started like any other, with a public humiliation. During combat training, a high-ranking noble, bored and looking for sport, challenged Iron to a duel. It wasn't a duel, it was a beating. The noble toyed with him, knocking him down again and again with casual bursts of magic. The crowd laughed, Iron's body screamed in protest, but he kept getting up. Finally, with one powerful blast, the noble sent him flying across the arena. Iron's back slammed hard against a stone pedestal, one that held an ancient, sealed relic nobody had paid attention to in centuries. A crack spider webbed across the relic's surface. A low hum filled the air, a sound only Iron could hear. Then, it whispered. A searing pain shot through his arm as a black sigil, intricate and terrifying, burned itself onto his skin. A voice, ancient and powerful, echoed not in his ears, but in his very soul. Contract accepted. S-rank skill unlocked. Abyss echo. The entire arena went silent. The air grew heavy, and every person, from the students to the professors, froze, their eyes locked on the boy who was supposed to be nothing. A swirling aura of pure, silent darkness exploded around Iron. It wasn't wild or chaotic. It was controlled, precise, and utterly chilling. The noble, unnerved, launched another attack, a spear of concentrated fire magic. But this time, Iron didn't brace for impact. He simply tilted his head, dodging it instinctively, as if he'd known exactly where it would go. He could see the noble's next move before he even made it. He could feel his own strength amplifying, pushing past any human limit. The noble shouted, his voice cracking with disbelief. This is impossible. He lunged forward for a physical strike. Iron met him, not with magic, but with a single, effortless blow. The impact sent the noble flying backward, knocking him unconscious. There was no flash, no incantation, just raw, overwhelming power. The teachers stared, their mouths agape. The students who had been laughing moments before were now whispering in fear. But Iron was more confused than anyone. He stared at his hands, at the sigil on his arm. He never meant to awaken anything. All he wanted was to survive. Later that day, as the academy buzzed with rumors, Princess Lyria, the top student and heir to the throne, found him. She walked with a quiet grace that demanded respect. Her eyes, usually calm and calculating, were fixed on the sigil on his arm. She gently took his hand, her expression unreadable. As she studied the dark mark, her eyes widened in shock. This sigil, only one person in all of history has ever carried it. Before she could explain, a shadow fell over them. A malevolent curse, hidden near the academy, activated. A monstrous being materialized from thin air, a spectral assassin, its only purpose to eliminate the royal heir. It moved faster than thought. Before anyone could react, it struck. Princess Lyria cried out, a fatal wound blooming on her side. She stumbled, collapsing toward Iron. With her last bit of strength, she grabbed his arm, her eyes pleading. She whispered, your power, it's the only one that can save me. As the monster lunged for the killing blow, Iron's new ability, Abyss Echo, surged to life. It wasn't a choice, it was an instinct. His mind became a mirror. He saw the monster's attack pattern, felt its intent, anticipated every claw and strike, and then, something else happened. The monster's own dark energy flowed into him, and in an instant, Iron's skill didn't just copy it, it mimicked its power and amplified it, sending the same dark energy back at the creature, only twice as strong. One blow, that's all it took. A wave of pure, concentrated void energy erupted from Iron's hand, and the monster disintegrated into nothing but dust. The world went silent. Iron fell to his knees, his body drained, the sudden rush of power leaving him exhausted. But beside him, the fatal wound on the princess was closing. Her breathing steadied. She was alive. In the aftermath, the academy's faculty was in chaos. The teachers argued in a panicked frenzy. The Abyss ability is forbidden for a reason. It's too dangerous, one shouted. Another countered. A power that can rival the gods themselves has appeared in a nobody. A third, the head of the disciplinary committee, declared he must be controlled or eliminated. But just as they moved toward Irin, Princess Lyria stood in front of him, her voice ringing with royal authority. "He saved my life. Touch him, and you answer directly to me." In that moment, the way they saw him shifted forever. He was no longer a worthless dropout. He was either a miracle or a threat unlike any they had ever known. Over the next few days, a strange alliance formed. Under the princess's protection, Irin began to train in secret. She, a master strategist, taught him tactics, control, and politics. He, in turn, explored the depths of his new skill. And he quickly made a startling discovery. Abyss Echo didn't just copy powers. It analyzed them, deconstructed them, and evolved them into something far greater. He began to spar with nobles, royal knights, and even some of his own professors. And he won. Every time, rumors began to spread like wildfire. The nobody is becoming the strongest student in the academy. The princess is always with him. Are they getting close? The true test came during a public class trial. Irin was pitted against 3 elite students at once. They were a perfect team. One wielded fire, another controlled gravity, and the third crafted flawless illusions. They launched a coordinated assault, a storm of magic designed to overwhelm any opponent. But for Irin, it was like watching a dance. He already knew the steps too. He adapted instantly, using his evolved power to counter their fire with an absorbing void, negate their gravity with a burst of kinetic energy, and shatter their illusions by seeing the truth beneath them. He defeated all 3 without leaving a single scratch on them. The entire arena erupted in stunned silence. Then, the headmaster stood up, his voice echoing with a weight it had never held before. "Irin Vale. Welcome to the top class." From across the platform, the princess gave him a small, proud smile. "You earned it," she mouthed. But that night, as Irin looked at the sigil on his arm, it began to shift and change shape. It pulsed with a faint light, and a second, deeper voice whispered from the abyss in his soul. "Your awakening was just the first step," and far above the kingdom, in a realm beyond the clouds, the gods themselves turned their ancient attention toward the academy. Because the boy they had once rejected had just become the one thing they truly feared. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.